Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video I will be showing you this very awesome pattern for this third scarf of the season. It's very easy and I think you guys are going to love it, so let's get to it. Things you will need include just one skein of yarn, some scissors, a darning, weaving, tapestry needle, and also a crochet hook. This is a medium 4 yarn and it usually calls for like a 5mm crochet hook, but I'm going to be using a size 6mm, and that is J and US because of my tension. So we're going to start out with a slip knot, wrap around, twist exchange, wrap this over your finger like that, pull that one over that one and off your finger while lifting up on the loop that's still on your finger. Insert your crochet hook into the loop and pull to tighten. Now you want to chain an even number, okay? I'm going to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now we're going to put a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the 4th chain from the hook. I'm going to put a double crochet, so yarn over, enter the chain, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. And now I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in each chain across. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, go into the next chain, which is there, like that. Yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, and 2. Continue in that fashion and I'll meet you at the other side. So I made my way across, and when I count these 3 chains at the very beginning as a stitch, I have a total of 14 stitches. So I have 13 actual double crochets, and when I count this chain 3 on the end, that means I have 14 stitches. So whatever initial even number of chains you crocheted out, you should have 2 less in terms of the number of stitches. So if you chained out 20, you should, after completing row 1, have 18 stitches. Okay, it should still be an even number. Alright, so for row 2, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, turn your work. Now what we're going to do, and you're going to repeat rows 2 and 3 for the duration of the scarf. So you yarn over, okay, and in the next stitch, because this chain 2 counts for that stitch on the end, so in the next stitch we're going to put a double crochet like that. Okay, so the chain 2 for that one, double crochet in that one. Now we're going to do the crisscross stitch, and we're going to go back into that first stitch there. So just watch. Yarn over, go back into there where that chain 2 is coming out of, and make a double crochet. So we yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, and we're going to yarn over and go through 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to go back into the current stitch that we were working, and we're going to make a double crochet in there. So yarn over, pull through to the front. Okay, now we have 4 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through everything. Okay, so even though we have 1, 2, 3 bodies, we only have 2 tops, 1, 2, because essentially we did a double crochet 2 together. Okay, I know it looks confusing, but hang in there. You'll get it. Alright, so for the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, skip the next stitch and go to the next one and put a regular double crochet. Now we're going to go back and do the crisscross. So we'll yarn over, go back into the skip stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. We'll yarn over and only go through the first 2 loops. 1 and 2. That leaves us with 2 loops on our crochet hook. Now we're going to go back to the stitch that we were just at and yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, pull through to the front, and we'll have 4 loops. We'll yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, and then 3 loops left. Yarn over, go through everything. So once again, even though we have 1, 2, 3 bodies, we only have 1, 2 tops. Okay, so it's only 2 stitches. I know you guys are like, this is so confusing, I'm never gonna get it, but you will. Alright, so yarn over. Because we know we want to do the crisscross stitch, we're gonna skip a stitch. So we'll skip that one and go into that one. And make a regular double crochet. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we know we're gonna want to go back into that one that we skipped, but to finish that stitch off, we're gonna work into the one that we just crocheted into. Okay, so we'll yarn over, go back, and make a double crochet, or almost one. Yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, 1, 2, and before completing it, yarn over and go back into the stitch we were originally at. And now we'll complete it. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through everything. Okay, let's do it again. You guys will get it. Hang in there. Don't be discouraged. Okay, yarn over, skip a stitch, go into the next one, make a double crochet. Now yarn over, go into the stitch we skipped, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, only go through the first 2 loops. Now yarn over and go into the current stitch that we're at, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Okay, keep doing it. Yarn over, skip that one, go into the next one, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, and make a regular double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. At this point, you know that you have to go in that one there, right, because you skipped it. But to complete that stitch, we're going to go back in there. So yarn over, do the crisscross stitch by going into the skip stitch, yarn over, pulling through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. But we're not done. We want to kind of end where we started, right? So we go back into the one we were at. So now we yarn over, go into the current stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through 3, like that. Okay, and this is what you're getting. Keep doing it. Yarn over, skip, go into the next one, make a double crochet. Now yarn over, go into the skipped one to start it, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, we can go through the first 2. Okay, alright, but then to finish this, we want to go into the current one, which is there. So now we yarn over, go into the current stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through everything, or 3, to complete it. We have 2 more stitches left. Okay, remember we want to do the crisscross stitch, so we have to skip a stitch. So yarn over, skip, and go into the top chain of that chain 3, and that's where we'll put our regular double crochet, like that. Now the crisscross, yarn over, go into the skipped stitch there, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Now we want to finish this, so we got to go back into the last stitch, or the current stitch we're working in. So yarn over, go back into that top chain of that chain 3 to complete this. So yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through everything. Okay, and that's the pattern. I know it seems a little counterintuitive, but just hang in there. Okay, and it may seem like it's spreading a bit, but it will adjust. The important thing is that you maintain the same number of stitches. So in row 1 you have 14 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in row 2 you should also have 14 stitches. Let's count the tops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, alright, after that row 3, you get a breather, so you get to relax a little bit. So you'll just simply chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to put a single crochet in the back loop of every stitch. So this chain 1 is coming out of that stitch, and we're going to actually put a single crochet in the back loop, like that. Okay, so right there. With the single crochet, you do not yarn over first, so just go in, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, and yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. And we're just going to put 1 single crochet in the back loop of every stitch, like that. Okay, when you finish this row, you should have a total still of 14 stitches, like that. Okay, I'll see you at the other side. So after finishing row 3, you see it kind of brought it back in, so it's not just continually spreading, right? So even when it spreads in row 2, don't worry about it, it will correct itself. Alright, and I still have 14 stitches, so make sure you're maintaining 14 stitches, or how many ever stitches you have, whatever even number you have, okay, all throughout the length of this scarf. Alright, so now it's time to repeat. So I told you you're going to be repeating row 2 and row 1 for the duration of the scarf. Now it's time to do the row 2 pattern again. I'll show you one more time. Chain 2, 1, 2. Turn your work. Okay. That chain 2 counts for that first single crochet on the end. And technically that's the one we're going to skip, okay? That's what's going to allow us to do the crisscross stitch going back into that stitch. So we have the chain 2, we're going to yarn over, skip that one, and go into the next one. And that's where we're going to put the regular double crochet. Okay, now we're going to do the crisscross and go back into the skipped one. So we'll yarn over and we'll start that double crochet in the skipped stitch by just going through the first 2 loops. But then we always want to say, I don't want to go backward, let's continue going forward. So we go back into the stitch that we were at. Yarn over, go back in there, yarn over, pull through to the front, 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through everything. Okay? Show you one more time. Yarn over, skip the stitch, go into the next one. Yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, because that first stitch is always just a regular double crochet. Now yarn over, go into the skip stitch, so go back 1 stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, we're not done. Okay, we want to go forward again, so we go back to where we were in the current stitch. So we yarn over first, go in there, yarn over, pull through to the front for 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, and then yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Okay, and that's the pattern. So I've shown you the pattern several times. Hopefully you're starting to get it. Okay, if not, just keep rewatching. Okay, and then the next row will be just the row of single crochets in the back loops. Okay, continue alternating between rows 2 and row 3 all the way until you get your scarf as long as you want it. I'll see you when it's time to finish up. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with this scarf, but before I finish, I want to go over that tricky row one more time just to make sure you guys have got it. Okay, so I just finished this row of single crochets in the back loop. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to turn my work like this. Okay, this chain 2 counts for the single crochet on the end, but I'm going to pretend like that's the stitch that I'm skipping. So when I put my first double crochet, I'll yarn over, I'm going to skip that very first stitch, okay, right there, and go into that one, the next one, and put a double crochet. Let's call that stitch B. Stitch A was the one we skipped, stitch B is the one we entered. Now here's a rule. You can only complete a stitch in stitch B, okay? Alright, so now, crisscross. Yarn over and start a double crochet in stitch A, the one we skipped. And we'll yarn over, go through only 2. But because we're in stitch A, remember you can't complete it, so we have to go back to B. So what we'll do is yarn over, go into stitch B, yarn over, pull through to the front, 4 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, okay? Yarn over, pattern repeats, skip stitch A, go into stitch B. We can complete this because it's stitch B, that's the rule. Now, we're going to start a double crochet in stitch A, the one we skipped, okay? Yarn over, go through 2. But because we're in stitch A, we can't complete it. Remember, we can only complete in stitch B. So yarn over, go to stitch B, and then complete. Okay? Yarn over, skip, go into stitch B. Double crochet, start double crochet in stitch A, like that. But because we're in stitch A, we can't complete it. So we have to go back to stitch B. Yarn over, go in there, and complete like that. Okay? Yarn over, skip stitch A, go into stitch B. Yarn over, start a double crochet in stitch A. However, complete the stitch in stitch B. Okay, skip stitch A into stitch B, start the double crochet in stitch A, and complete it in stitch B. Skip stitch A, go into stitch B, start a double crochet in stitch A, complete it in stitch B. And then these 2 stitches on the end, don't forget that single crochet on the end, okay? Yarn over, skip stitch A, go into stitch B, which is the final stitch of the row. Yarn over, pull through to the front. Because it's stitch B, we complete it. Now we go back to stitch A, and we start it, but because it's stitch A, we can't complete it, so we go back to stitch B to complete it. I was just trying to think of different ways that might help you, remember the pattern. So hopefully that helps. Now, make sure you're maintaining the correct number of stitches. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which is what I should have. Now, for your very final row, you're just going to end with a row of regular double crochets. Okay, so chain 2, 1, 2, turn your work, and then that chain 2 will count for that stitch on the end. So we'll go into the next one, slicing the icing off the top of the cake and just making a double crochet. 1 double crochet in every stitch across. Okay? This is very easy. And after the row that we just completed, this is definitely going to be very easy for you to do. Okay? You guys should be able to complete this within an hour and a half, 2 hours, I would say, if you're focused and if you crochet at a decent pace. But even if it takes you longer, it's not important. Okay, the important thing is that you enjoy it. Okay, so the count of stitches: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, and then I'm gonna chain 1, cut my yarn, and fasten off. So I really like this pattern. I was, just playing around, just trying to figure out what I could do differently, because I've made several scarf tutorials now. And I came up with this one. It's also reversible, so you may like this side, but you may also like this side. Okay, this side kind of shows the lines, right? This side just kind of shows where it protrudes, or there's like an indentation. So hopefully you enjoy this. And let me get my scissors and I'll finish this off on camera, just in case you're very, very new and don't know what to do next. Alright, so I chained the 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn and fasten off like that. Now I'm going to weave this tail into the work. So I got my darning and weaving tapestry needle. I just feed the yarn through the eye of the needle, and then I'll go in one direction through some stitches. Okay, and just pull on the side that's loose, and then take a slightly different path going back in the opposite direction. You're just trying to weave this yarn in so that it doesn't come undone. Okay, and you can go a third time if you want, doesn't matter, depending on how long your tail is and how much weaving it takes for you to actually feel like it's secure. And even a fourth. Okay, just pull through, kind of bring it back to its original shape like that, and then cut your yarn. Alright, you guys, so there you have it. Let me zoom out and wrap this up. So this is the finished product. Okay, just so beautiful. And as I said, it is reversible. On this side you have the lines, okay, and on this side you have the lines of indentation, if you will. Okay, but it's very easy, and once you commit that pattern to memory, really it's just the pattern for where you're doing the double crochets. The other row is really easy with just one single crochet in every stitch in the back loop. That's easy enough to remember. But once you commit the pattern to memory in the row of double crochets, you're just going autopilot and you're finished with it before you know it. So that is going to be it for this video, but I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.